Hey guys, how you doing? It's Mark here, Mark Hamilton. I own the little supplement company, and I have been in the health and wellness industry, natural health and wellness industry, might I add, for probably about 30 years now. So I've worked professionally in the industry for quite a long time, and in that time, I have met some amazing people, learnt quite a lot from courses and companies and lecture tours and things. I've been fortunate enough to have travelled all around the UK and many countries in the world with my job and my work. So very lucky man, and I have dealt with virtually every health issue you can imagine under the sun over those years, and it's been a pleasure and a privilege to be involved in this industry. So one thing that is more prevalent now with what's going on with the COVID-19 is that I have noticed more than any other health issue, bar none, maybe it's weight loss, putting weight on with it, bar none, any other health issue is mental health. And mental health, for some bizarre reason, is still, to many people, a taboo subject. A lot of men think it's a weakness. A lot of ladies are very resilient and just want to get on with things. And it is a health issue. There's lots of physical health issues, arthritis and IBS and things like that. But mental health is absolutely paramount. Now, go back 5 or 10 years. I came away from advising and stuff like that about 15 years ago, 2006. And my wife and I, well, were expecting our first child, and I was sort of living in hotels all over the place. So I decided to call it a day, and we got a shop. So a nice little shop down in Torbay, in Paynton. And since 2006, I've had the privilege of working in the shop, not only with local people, but people still all around the country. And it's been lovely. When I left education, people were asking me what I wanted to do. And my answer, and it's still the same today, was to change the world a person at a time for the better. And that is still my philosophy. I have no business acumen in terms of, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and we'll set goals, and we're going to use this as a sales strategy. I'll talk to people, I'll give them advice, impartial advice, and I'll empower them with some knowledge. And then it's up to those people I've tried to help whether they want to take that on board and run with it or not. And that choice is ultimately theirs. The people who do jump on board and run with the advice get improvements. Fact. Sounds arrogant, but it's not. It's a fact. So I want to talk about mental health. And, again, you go back 5 or 10 years, I'd probably talk to a couple of people very quietly in the corner of a shop, a couple of people a week. You know how many people I speak to now daily? It's probably 1 in 2 to 1 in 3 customers that come in, believe it or not, that many, about anxiety, stress, insomnia, fatigue, which is all sort of stress related, mild depression, and unfortunately even very seriously depressed individuals. And you know what? There's a few things that I have learnt. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not an expert in the field by any way or shape or form. I'm not professing to be. But 30 odd years professionally working in the health and fitness and wellness industry, you learn, it's experience. You learn quite a lot from customers, from clients, from people in the industry, from lecture tours and all this kind of thing. And you learn a lot of to me, people. You can read all you want, and there's a lot of great marketing people out there that'll try and sell you this product and make all your life rosy, and you'll have someone running down a beach in the, you know what, we live in the real world. And, the first lockdown, people were scared. There was fear. And then they were locked like caged animals. So after a couple of weeks, the novelty wore off, and it was now, God, this is actually horrible. And then into a couple of months, then it really hit a lot of people, and people were overeating and over drinking. They weren't exercising, and there was that's a downward spiral. They weren't talking to people. They were living on tech. You know, they sit and watch like 72 episodes of your Netflix, whatever, and there's no stimulus there for your mind. So the second lockdown was even worse, and then we hit this one, the third lockdown. So I want to try and guide you, or give you a few pointers that work for me, and also from my experience with mood and mental health. And some people might say, you know, Mark, what gives you the right? You don't know what it's like. Well, actually, I do. I'll give you an example, which is very personal to me, but you know, you get what you see. So 6 years ago, I had a huge health shop on 3 floors. It was like a department store, basically, an old department store. And we had the health and the food section and the supplements downstairs. The middle section of the building was all bodybuilding equipment and the bodybuilding supplements and sports supplements. And then upstairs, we had a few therapy rooms, so a therapy centre. And we were doing really well. And, you know, I was driving around in a nice big car, and my wife was driving around in a nice car, and we had a house and a flat and overlooking the sea and everything like that. You'd think living the dream. And then something happened outside of our control. So we went for sort of, you know, quite lucrative, nice, a nice lifestyle with a couple of lovely young children who I never saw because I was working 7 days a week. And something happened that actually stopped customers getting to our shop and it was to do with the council and the road and stuff like that. But it stopped the customers getting through our shop for a good part of like 4 months. So, you know, over a quarter of our trading year. So our take-ins went down, and we lost in take-ins nearly £200,000 in take-ins. So the bills racked up in those 4 months. We still had 13 staff or whatever it was to pay. Still had 25 grand a year to business rates to pay, etc., etc., etc. And in the end, we lost everything. Okay, it wasn't our fault. If it was, I don't, you know, what would even tell you this, but it was outside of our control. So I went from hard work all my life, and as did my wife, helping people, and we lost everything. So we were sitting one day, and it was Christmas, ironically, and we were told by the accountant, there's no way out of this, you're going to have to go bankrupt. So on Christmas Day, our assets were frozen. So all our bank accounts were frozen, so we couldn't get access to any money we'd saved. We couldn't get access to the children's savings because it was in our own personal names. And all we knew, the cars went back, and we knew that we were going to be evicted from our flat overlooking the sea at any point. So we had nothing. So I was 45 years old it was like leaving school at 45 with a lovely wife, 2 children, no job, nowhere to live. And from being a managing director of a very, very successful health store, one of the best in the country, won awards and all that, it really was a bitter blow. And then not long after that, my mum died of cancer, which was horrible. So it was a little bit of a double whammy. And that sent me to quite a horrible place that I'd never been to. So for years, I had been speaking to people about depression and low mood and low self-esteem and lack of confidence and all these things. And I've been helping them, and they were getting help, and they were getting some great positive results with it. But I had never understood what was going on. Now I do, because I've been there, and I have empathy with those people. So for the last 6 years, I've had to rebuild my life completely from scratch. So I went out and I got a job on a building site with my brother-in-law, has a building company. So I started 8:30 in the morning. This has been for me being paid 65, 70 grand a year. I was now in Wellingtons or boots outside in the freezing cold because it was winter, and I was digging holes and this, that and the other and moving bricks. And I got paid £50 a day from 8:30 till 5 o'clock. I'd go home, get a shower, get my tea, give the kids a kiss, get them to bed. And then I started B&Q on a night from 9 o'clock till 2 in the morning, putting stuff out on the shelves. So that was a bit of a hard blow to me from what I was used to. But I got over that and got through that through people close to me who were positive. My wife in particular, my parents, her parents, and my children. And I needed to go, I can like sit here and end it all, or I can drink myself to death, and stuff like that. Or I can do something about it. And I decided to do something about my situation. And I have to look at what good has come of this. So that little story there, what good did come of that? You know what? I have reevaluated what's important to me as a person. So that whole experience, as horrible as it was, and as low as I got, I now know that the love of people, family in particular, or your children and my wife, God, I'm the richest man. I might not have much money, but I'm the richest man in the world. Having a posh house and a posh car doesn't matter. Making loads of money doesn't matter. Happiness, health, and people you love around you, and then you can enjoy the ride of life. And it's always going to have downs, but my God, it's going to have ups. And I think taking a step back outside your bubble and looking, okay, I'm at this low ebb at the minute. How can I get out of this? What's causing this? What is causing this low ebb? Is it something like that happened to me? It's outside of my control. Lost everything overnight. It was a surreal thing. Don't know. Is it something to do with an emotional thing? Is it a relationship thing? Like I said, I'm not a counsellor, but there's always positives. There's always positives to be had. If you're in a toxic relationship, get out of it. Don't care how much you love the person. It's toxic. It's not good for you. So these are the kind of ways that I had to adapt. So now I will only have positive people around me. I like people who are vibing, good vibes, good, was it Beach Boys? Good vibrations. You know what? Vibrations are on a frequency that are very similar. So if you get a lot of negative vibrations, you'll get them back. If you get out positive vibrations, you'll get them back. And that might sound crazy to people. Try it. Positive. Be positive about everything. Don't call people. Be positive. If they're your enemies and they're calling you, be positive. They'll hate you for it. They'll hate you for it. Someone's been horrible to you, be nice. So if they're more horrible to you, be nicer. It does the head in, and it takes a tough person to do that. Try it. Try it. Don't go down to their level. Try it. So there's lots of reasons, and there's lots of people out there that can help you. And there's some fantastic professional people out there that are trained in this area from a psychological point of view, a sociology point of view, etc. I'm not. I'm just talking about my personal experience, and I can empathise with anyone who is struggling with mental health. So I will be all ears, and I'm not one of these that'll talk over you. If you're ever down into the shop and you have an issue, talk to me. I'm not here to judge you. I've been there, I've done that. It's horrible, I know. It's about finding that light at the end of the tunnel, as they say, and how do you get out this tunnel? And it's possible, it's achievable. It might take some time, and it took me a good couple of years to be, well, a good year, let's say, to be honest. And I'm not going to go back there no matter what, Things have happened since the coronavirus, businesses, I'm not going down with it. I'm just going, you know what, fine, that's happening. Then I can't control the coronavirus, so I'm not going to worry. I can't fix it. I haven't got the cure. I've got things that can help you boost your immune system so you're not going to, hopefully get it, or if you do get it, you can fight it. Absolutely. And I'll talk about that in another video blog. And I 100% agree with that. But, things happen. My business has been affected. Fine. And my business has been affected. Then my business has been affected. What am I doing? I'm being proactive. I'm doing little video blogs like this to let people know I'm here. I'm still open. The shop's still open 10 till 2 every day. I'm on social media. I'm being proactive. I'm being positive, because if I didn't and sat back and felt sorry for myself, I'd probably lose the business, And then how do I help people change their lives every day? I can't. And that's my mission in life. So let's take a step back and say, there is help out there. And, I'm hopefully going to look at my Facebook page, the little supplement company, Facebook page, and I will try and get some links to people who can help you. There's groups out there. You know, there's a big thing with men, and men are now coming around to opening up and talking about it. You know, things like physical fitness. You know, one thing that's to me absolutely ludicrous is they've closed all the gyms. The amount of people that go to the gym for mental health, forget the physical thing. You know, and I'm one of those people. You know, I was going to the gym 6 days a week, not for the body beautiful. It helped me with headspace. It was like my meditation, you know, which is another thing to look at. And that might sound to people, what's he talking about? Try it. Meditation isn't necessarily going for 4 hours. It's just controlling the mind. It might be thinking about breathing, you know, for 5 minutes. Actually, you know, breathe in energy and get rid of toxins. Phenomenal. Get vibing. Meditation and vibing. Get doing those. Now on to my kind of area of expertise. Sorry to go on, but I like people just to understand. I'm not someone that's just come on here without any understanding of what depression and anxiety is. Of course I do. I understand. This is why I'm quite passionate about it. This is probably why I've been talking for 16 minutes about it and haven't even started telling you about some amazing products. One of particularly helped me get through everything, and I love this product because of that, and I just absolutely adore it. But there's some amazing other products out there that may be good for you. So one of my favorite products is a herb from Russia. It's from Siberia, and the herb itself is called rhodiola rosea. The two companies, lots of companies do this herb. The two companies I have used, that's the only two companies I actually use with it. I don't bother with any others in my shop because the feedback on both the companies are phenomenal. Is a company called Terra Nova and another company called Viridian Nutrition. And their rhodiolas are unbelievable. So much so I would call them, in certain circumstances, life changes for people on emotional, mental, anxiety-driven, stress kind of viewpoint, point of view. I've got a couple of, I've just got my little laptop underneath the camera, and I want to get it right actually. I never usually use any notes, but I just want to get it right. So in terms of rhodiola, over a 6-week period, this is a few trials that we've done with rhodiola. Generalized anxiety disorder, rhodiola reduced people with mild to moderate depression. It reduced depressive behavior and depression generally over a 6-week period, which is no time at all. So rhodiola will basically help with anxiety and depression within 6 weeks. My wife married me, I'm sure, because of rhodiola 13 years ago. It certainly wasn't because of my looks. It was because of my knowledge, I think. Because when I met her, she was in an anxiety, kind of low mood state. I think she had a crap relationship at the time, etc. And I was working with Viridian at the time, actually, and I gave her a pot of rhodiola, which happened to have in my boot for stock. And I saw her 4 weeks later, she was a different person. And that was the best thing since sliced bread. So I probably owe rhodiola not only to get me through the real dark times that I had 6 years ago, but also my marriage. So thank you, rhodiola. In 20 days, rhodiola improved mental performance, physical fitness, general cognitive performance, and reduced general fatigue. 20 days? That's less than 3 weeks. That's absolutely unbelievable. How does it work? So rhodiola actually increases. There's a chemical in the body we produce called serotonin. Now serotonin think of it as the happy chemical in the body. So serotonin needs to go through this barrier in the brain called the blood-brain barrier to be effective. So often there's an issue of getting this serotonin, this happy chemical, through the brain. Now while it's actually being transported through the body to the brain, there's a long worded chemical called COMT. I'm not even going to catalyst or methyl transferase. Something like that. So a long, the posh word, COMT, that attacks serotonin and it breaks it down. So as this journey goes through this blood-brain barrier, it's trying to get through the barrier. And while it's doing that, this COMT chemical is actually breaking down the serotonin, so it's not allowing it to get there. Now, often when people are low in mood or depressed, severely depressed, this is happening in the body. Now, I know this is quite basic, but this is kind of what's happening. How does rhodiola work? Rhodiola increases the amount of serotonin through this barrier by up to 30%. So you're getting nearly a third more serotonin into where it needs to be in the brain in order for you to feel, this is cool. Takes the edge off stuff in life, takes the edge off life, increases happiness, increases sleep. Serotonin and sleep, so linked. The other thing it does, which is really important, is this horrible COMT that's attacking serotonin and not allowing you to be happy. It reduces that. It inhibits the production of that in the body by 60%. So you're getting less serotonin damage and more through this barrier. So I know it's a very basic way of saying it, but this is kind of how rhodiola works in the body. So rhodiola rosea, I love it. I used to take it before because I was always struggled with winter, dark nights, rain, cold, miserable. So I'd always probably take it for 15 years, but really it did affect me massively 6 years ago. So I think rhodiola rosea is one of those products that if you haven't tried it and you don't want to go down the antidepressant route from medication, I'm not going to comment on that. I'm not a trained doctor, but I do hear the good and the very bad side effects of that in my shop, and I have done for a long time because I'm in the trade. To be fair, a lot of the people I speak to have negative experiences with it, and that's probably why I end up speaking to them. And often people say, you go on it and it does sort the depression side of things out, but you have no emotion at all. So you can't have the elation as well as you just kind of zombified and you go through life. I'd rather have ups and downs and kind of go through the roller coaster of what life is than that. But that's me personally. So rhodiola rosea is absolutely, definitely worth talking about to an independent health shop. Come and see me. The good ones you'll find in independent health shops. I'll use that word. People hate me for saying that, but that's where you'll get quality. Practitioner level ingredients and practitioner level products. Not your commercial high street stuff. So that is going to be quite important. The other thing which works, quite a few people who've gone on this swear by it. And Viridian are a brilliant company I worked for 7 years, I think now, who I love with a thing. Cheryl, who runs the company, is one of the most amazing women that you'll ever meet in your life. I've got so much respect for the company and her in particular because her ethos is still in that company, even though the company's got quite big. It's probably one of the biggest independent supplement ranges around in the UK today. And in fact, it is, the independent wise. So they do a product called theanine and lemon balm. And again, I just want to do some research notes that I've written down so I get it right for you. So L-theanine lemon balm, the nice thing with that is it helps you relax, but it keeps you mentally alert. So this could be fantastic for anxiety. So those palpitations and you can feel like little panic attacks happening or you're very anxiety driven and you don't know why sometimes, this could be the product for you. So theanine and lemon balm, they both work beautifully together. The posh term is synergistically, but it is phenomenal. So they did a study with 50 healthy female volunteers, and it was shown that a single dose of theanine resulted in increased alpha brain wave activity within 40 minutes. In English, this product can work very quickly. With rhodiola, I mean, it takes me a couple of days for me to find the benefits of rhodiola, and then it's in, and that's brilliant. I'll just take one every morning. With this, it works there and then. It's kind of 40 minutes later, and you're feeling more relaxed, and you're still alert. 40 minutes, so phenomenal. This study found that there's a study on lemon balm with this. This study found that the lemon balm reduced anxiety by 18%. It reduced anxiety-associated symptoms by 15%. And it lowered insomnia by a massive 42%. Most people responded to the treatment. 95% of people who tried this responded to the treatment, of which of those 95% of people, 70% achieved full remission from anxiety. 70% of those people, anxiety went away. That is phenomenal. And 85% achieved full remission from insomnia. They were sleeping properly again. There's just 2 products. There's other products, there's saffron, there's St. John's wort, there's Avena sativa. So there are other products you can work with, but I'm conscious that, you're probably all switched off now, but that is so useful to know. So if it's an anxiety-driven thing, look at L-theanine and lemon balm, Viridian's. I know it's good because I used it for different customers and stuff over the years, and it works a treat, and it works quite quickly. The rhodiola, I'm biased because I've used it for a long time, and it got me out of a really horrible place mentally. I was certainly helpful with all the other support networks that I set up and changing my mindset and my attitude and the way I am. So I think that is 2 amazing products. The other one I've just mentioned, the Avena sativa. I will mention this because I've got 2 children who I adore. Bodhi's 10, Alice is 12, and they've both, from pre-coronavirus, we were out bodyboarding, we were on paddle boards, we were in the sea playing after work and after school. We've got it on our doorstep. Outdoor people, football on the beach, blah, blah, blah. Lived outdoors when we weren't working or at school. We were outdoors. Go to the back garden, we were out having barbecues on the decking, things like that. We just didn't go in the house. Since this coronavirus, we kind of spent much more time in the house. And our children have become antisocial. Their socialisation is on tech with their friends, FaceTiming and all this stuff. So when I say let's go out now, I don't want to. Their sleeping patterns are disarrayed. But I'm talking to other parents who come in the shop about their children, and a lot of children now have anxiety. They have depression, mild depression, admittedly, a lot of them. And this isn't right for children. One product that I would use without doubt on my children would be, if that was the case with them, would be Avena sativa. It's a very natural product. It's an extract from oats, and it will help with anxiety and mood, mild depression, and it's absolutely brilliant for children and adults. So I'll mention that because I'm aware that there's a lot of issues now with children because of this. A lot of them are scared. They don't know how to handle this. They're not in their social groups anymore. Everyone's wearing a mask. That must be scary for a lot of younger children. You kind of see like facial expressions and stuff like that. So Avena sativa is another issue. One thing I'll finish on is, I've been doing this, as I say, a long time professionally. I care about people I speak to. I generally give a damn. I love what I do. And I think a lot of people who hide away from the mental health issues or think it'll go away, don't. Be brave. Be brave. Find what suits you. I'm not going to say if you take rhodiola, you'll be fine tomorrow, because it's not just this. This will help. This will help the happy. It definitely takes the edge off things. But look at the other things you can do in your lifestyle. Dietary factors. Start eating healthily, more vegetables, more fibre, more fruit. Do that. Keep off the quick food and the McDonald's and all that stodgy. Go down the route. Drink more water. Exercise every day. I don't mean, you can't go to a gym, but get out, go for a walk in the morning, no matter what the weather. Go for a 40-minute walk every morning. You'll feel better, you'll get fitter, and you'll be in good shape. 40 minutes at a good pace just releases so many good endorphins in the brain and the body. So these are just all things you probably all know, but sometimes it's just nice to have a little reminder, isn't it? That yes, let's do that. Look up, you can download on, I think, because I was listening to my wife was doing it last night, an app, a free meditation app. And even you just relax, or you have 10 minutes in the afternoon, you're having your cup of tea or something, you chill out, kids might be away, whatever they're doing, or whatever the situation, have a little 5-minute listen to a meditation app, or do it before you go to bed. You'll sleep much better. So things like that are, to me, key. And the main thing to me is vibe. Do positive vibes. They're good. They make you feel good. They make people around you feel good. And when people around you feel good, you feel even better. So you're vibing off each other. You know, if you're going low and you're calling people and you're being miserable and all this is doing my head in, you ain't gonna get up there, you know, mentally. You're gonna be down there, because those negative vibes will attract negative people and negative vibes. Get rid of toxic people. You know, you just not unfriend them, just block their views and stuff like that. If you're on Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is you're on, keep positive people around you. Please, it's so important. Vibe, positive vibes, and we're all good. Put all that together, you'll be amazed how you can feel. Amazed. And trust me, been there, done that. I should have a t-shirt with it on, but I don't like to talk about it. So, only to you guys. So anyone who's watched this all the way through, I commend you. You've got the attention span of an absolute, whatever's got a long attention span. Brilliant. I'm sorry I do go on, but it's such an important topic. I just like to cover it properly. Hopefully that made sense. If it didn't, you can contact me through Facebook, social media. We're on email. You can get it through the web. We've got a website, thelittle-supplement-company.co.uk. You can contact us in quite a few ways. And like I say, I'm always here to talk and help. Even if you might be embarrassed to talk to me because we've never met. I'm a nice guy. You get what you see. This is me. I'm not trying to be clever for social media or anything. This is me. I'm like this in the shop. I'm like this at home. So just let us know how I can help you, or seek help from other sources, and there's some good sources out there. So thanks for listening. Do stay safe. Be good. I am going to do some other blogs on immunity and things like that. So you know, if you're bored in the day and you're locked down and you want to just listen to a northern guy rabbit on a little bit about nutrition and supplements, you know, I've got quite a few things on the YouTube channel. Yeah, I've got a YouTube channel. You wouldn't believe it, would you? So take care, guys. And like I said, this is Mark Hamilton from the Little Supplement Company. And thanks again for listening. Now take care, and I'll speak to you all soon. Thank you.